Okay, right. I got my friend and colleague with me, Wahid. Let me turn the heater down. Ik kry mos maar met 'n heater aan in die oggend because it's kind of koud.
So you think it's klaar overweight?
Yay, overweight. Ik het net gesê overheated. So I got my friend Wahid here, and we're going to do like a mild get it off your chest episode. So Wahid didn't really have a subject to talk about, so he asked me to bring up something. And we actually want to talk about the decline of values and morals in our communities.
That's actually a good topic to actually raise. Huh?
You know what is weird? Wahid? It's literally become to the point where if you are the guy that want to talk about how faithful you are to your wife, how dedicated you are to your faith, you have become the weirdo.
Yeah.
You actually need to be very, very selective nowadays on who you expose yourself to from a friend group. I mean, earlier we spoke to another colleague that is playing soccer with guys.
Yeah.
And although these guys are playing soccer every week, they are interacting every week, the moment the rubber hits the road or when that guys start playing, you immediately feel there's a disconnect of values. Did you pick that up?
No, spot on. You know what is also hectic is you're talking about that, right? Like being good or being a good being, a human, seems very weird.
It seems weird in today's time. Yes.
Right? So and you're talking about like a religion and so on. And there's actually a saying in the hadith that there's going to come a time when being good or when good will seem to be foreign.
Yeah.
You know, and people make out the bad to be actually good.
As normal.
As normal.
Yeah.
And I think we are definitely in that time.
I agree with you.
And it's so challenging with the raising of kids that you need to make sure that you can actually lay the foundation so firm and so solid to ensure that, you know, the other influences out there doesn't affect you. And it's very difficult because we don't know.
But to add to that, I think it also speaks to how solid your identity needs to be.
Yes.
Now, whether you tell yourself your identity is a Muslim or Christian or whatever it is, I find that people, children specifically, who has a strong identity, sense of self.
Yeah.
I've got a family, I've got a mom who loves me. I know what my faith is. It's going to be very unlikely that someone can just come and influence them and say, oh, in order to fit in here, you must do that.
Yeah.
You almost want to teach your children to not want to fit in, because what it means today to fit in is actually you need to do bad. In order for me to hold a conversation with a lot of men in today's world, is I must.
Ja, no,
Ek wil net doen hy kry net.
Daai is ek die
As dit is dit.
But what to go for?
Anyway, as I was saying, is today, in today's day and age, in order for you to fit in, you need to be bad.
Yeah. Like you mentioned something earlier, right? About being faithful, being that committed partner.
Yeah.
If you look at it, how many times is one not involved in conversations? And it's not a good thing, because it's not to say that you surround yourself with that type of people.
You can't help it.
It's just there.
You are immersed.
100%.
Yeah.
And the boasting is about how unfaithful they were.
Yeah. Yes.
And you're kind of shocked, and you're puzzled as listen, man, look, is this dude like married, or is this lady like married?
Yeah.
And you come to find out that actually.
Yeah.
You know?
And the sad part is how you see that behavior is being encouraged within groups. And unfortunately, in today's world, if you just proclaim your faith, now I know you're not somebody that's scared to proclaim your faith, right? But you almost risk as being seen as a fanatic.
Yeah, 100%. You're an extremist.
Sy's 'n extremist. Al wat hy wil oor praat is Jesus. Hy wil net die hele tyd praat oor die Masjid en die hadith en die ding. And usually it comes from people that also proclaim themselves to be Christians. It's not Muslims telling me, your shit, I want to die tijd praat with Jesus. It's the people that are call themselves Christians.
And it's sad, man.
It's sad.
You know, like back in the day, growing up now, we had and we grew up in a schooling system where biblical studies were practiced, right?
Yeah.
So irrespective of being Muslim and stuff, what that implemented was a sense of direction for the students.
Morality.
Yes.
Yeah. Because remember, if you take the let's say the Jesus element out, what does the Bible teach you? It teaches you to be a good person. Yeah. And if you take nothing away from that, you at least take that morality away. I think the sense of morality has been removed and it's been replaced with a love of self.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very big risk, because doesn't matter what you believe from a faith point of view, there's always a lesson relating to how should you treat others. But there's this attitude of, screw other people, as long as I'm surviving, I'm doing it, I'm alright.
But the way society presents it, it doesn't present it as in now. So what's happening today, there's like stages.
Yeah.
They happen in small increments.
Yeah. So you don't notice it.
You don't notice it.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, society is like this.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you couldn't, for example, let's say, light up a cigarette in front of a grown-up.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, I'm a grown-up myself, so I'm gonna just light it up. For instance, if you were now a smoker.
And you have the small element of grown-ups that were raised, in their opinion, too strict.
Yeah.
So they'll end up asking the ladies, don't you have a cigarette for me?
Yeah, 100%.
So though there's definitely been an erosion of the values.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're gonna survive it. I'm gonna go out on a limb now, right? And to a lot of people this might be a little bit offensive. This is just my opinion. We were talking about people that they see themselves as. Now let's say it's a man that sees himself as a woman, or vice versa, right? To me personally, I don't mind if you see yourself as a rocket ship, but but it's going to be difficult if you expect me to buy into your view of yourself.
That's utter nonsense.
Because not because I disagree with it on a fundamental level. To me, live your life. What I'm scared of is, where's the line? Where's the line? Because let me tell you, yes, I can accept you because you're attracted to the same sex. Yes, I can accept you because you see yourself as a woman trapped in a man body. What if tomorrow a guy puts up his hand and says, I see myself as a 6-year-old boy and I'm attracted to 6-year-old girls. This is a 40-year-old man. And I want to act out that love.
And society needs to accept it.
Society needs to accept it, because that is how I view myself. Where's the line? What if a black man wants to see himself as a white man? I made a joke earlier where I said, I've got 5 rand in the bank. The bank notifies me to say, you've got 5 rand in the bank. And I say, but I see myself as having 1 million rand in the bank, and I want you to subscribe to my view of myself. And if you are not going to do that, you discriminate against me.
See, on that, for example, like, God has created such a perfect system. A perfect system. In his system, there's no flaws.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. This is a man-made creation of this topic you're basically talking about. And listen to how much flaw there is in this.
100%.
It's full of flaws.
100%.
You can identify as this, and everybody just need to subscribe to it. So why can one identify as to being what is not, as like a male, as a female, and the world must believe it, but you can't subscribe to or
being a rocket ship.
You're being a rocket ship, and that doesn't seem to be fair. It doesn't seem to be logical.
And the same people, when presented with that, and guys, please engage in the comment section if you want to give your point of view. However, please remain respectful. Those people who wants to be seen, let's say male, female, female, male, if you ask them that question, generally they don't have an answer.
They don't have an answer.
Or they will give an answer to say, yes, I will see that person as a rocket ship. But now the question to that is, what if that person asks you to fill them up with jet fuel? Listen,
the flow just continue.
It snowballs. If you're going to run with something, you have to run with that thing to the end.
100%.
So it's weird, and it's gotten to the point, like you said earlier on, it's gotten to the point now where normality is being penalized
Yes.
You know, they refer to you as a cis male. You toxic masculinity. They refer to you as I have to pay. I have to pay and be held accountable to the wrongdoings of other men because I'm male.
Yeah.
But I cannot hold the people accountable that's holding me accountable for the sins of others like
you
them.
You can't. You're not allowed to.
So it's definitely a slippery slope.
It's like a double. It's like
it's a double standard.
Double standard. Yeah.
So yes, again, guys, whether this is my view or not is immaterial. We're having a discussion, and I hope I want to trigger people to the point where they start this conversation. We're not judging.
Yeah.
We're not looking down on anybody. All we're doing is asking the questions. What do you do if somebody comes to you and says, I identify as a diesel truck and I want you to fill me up with diesel? Knowing that filling that person up with diesel is going to kill them. So yeah, that is
I think society has just gone very, very soft.
Yeah, but you
You made a point now the other day about you know, you got vehicle ads, Mercedes-Benz and BMW back in the day.
Yeah.
How exciting wasn't those ads?
Oh yes, and it beats the Benz.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now everything has gone so sensitive.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to say that because it's like it can be harmful, or disrespectful,
or somebody might be offended.
Or somebody might be offended.
Now personally, I feel that it's gotten to the point where people have been given too much of an opinion. People have been given too much of perceived rights, and it's gotten to the point where they have strained the system to breaking point, and it's going to be rolled back.
The society is ungodly, man.
Yeah, 100%.
You understand? And that's where the problem comes in, you know?
I think you should have had your face on for this conversation. But I think that's our 12 minutes, guys. Wahid, in closing, have you got anything to say? Motivation, perhaps condemnation?
I just think that as parents, you know, it's our responsibility to make sure that our kids are prepared for the outside world.
Yeah.
And I talk to myself first. You know, we need to be clued up as to what's happening out there.
So you spoke to myself first? Who's myself?
Who's that?
You said you spoke to myself first.
Oh no, myself.
It's a cut, so
you know,
sorry guys.
But it's important that we need to get ourselves clued up with what society's, what's out there, and not stay away from it.
Yeah.
You know, we mustn't be hidden away and be introverted. We need to be involved and in our communities to know exactly how to tackle certain situations. And I think that's extremely important.
Yeah.
And that's all from my side.
Any advice for parents?
Just
on that matter?
Yeah, and I think they must. I mean, the advice is just to raise the kids to the best of your ability, and you know, raise your kids, because one of the days, you know, the kids are going to be looking after someone else's kid.
Yeah.
You know.
And further to that, I think you need to anchor yourself to something. Now, whether that is the church, whether that is your faith, whether that is your values and your morals, principles. Yeah. You need to anchor yourself to something. You also cannot be so like some of these Facebook people who are extremely principled in social media land, but when it comes to real life,
then it's fake.
Then it's
not working.
Yeah.
You know what's also important, Sid, just before you close, right, is to focus on yourself. You know, like they say, sweep in front of your own door first.
Yes.
We too quickly to look at someone else's.
Oh yes.
And because we are Mr. Perfect or Mrs. Perfect.
100%. Especially when nobody can come and test you.
Yeah.
Especially when it's online, where you hide behind a username or a fake profile.
Yeah.
Nobody can come to you and come check to see if you are really that perfect.
Yeah.
Like example, and this is going to be my closing story, is I made a status a few weeks ago where I said, whatever you do, don't let them move in. Whatever you do, I was vague, right? I said, whatever you do, don't let them move in. Because if you let them move in, you're never going to get rid of them. And somebody left me a long reply to say, obviously you got no compassion. And I responded to the person and said, show me how many people is living in your house. Homeless people that you gave away to. I'm still waiting for a reply. It's been a month. So these are people that they know what to post to make it sound like they are better people.
Yeah.
The moment you come and test them, it's almost as if you're forcing them to face how flawed they are. And then it's silence, because nobody wants to be held accountable. But anyway, Wahid, thanks for coming. Ek gaat nou weer uitgooi uit die bakket.
Ja, nee, ek ben hier uitspring.
Ja, spring uit. Dat is Saldana. Net red.
Okay.
Red saying that is definitely Saldana still. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. I will be probably having another guest as soon as possible. If you enjoy the conversation, please like and subscribe. Put it in the comment section. And Wahid, I hope to have you back.
Thanks, Sid.